What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I'd really appreciate it. This video is a long time coming. Haven't done a vacuum video for a while. This is an old Hoover. I believe this is called the Hoover Tempo is what they called it back in the mid-2000s. So I didn't look exactly what it is, but the model number's on the sticker here. We're going to be tearing this apart and giving it a good cleaning. This is actually an old vacuum that my grandparents used to have in their house. So they gave it to me and said, hey, go ahead and fix it up. So that's what I'm doing. There's nothing really wrong with it except for this right here, which is the height adjustment rollers. The plastic tab is cracked off there, but it still sort of works. It's just very dirty. I already started vacuuming it out. So you see I got my trusty shop vac here, and after I took this panel off, actually, there was a lot of dust on the inside of the bag compartment here. So if you look, there is a filter that goes right here on the bottom, and that was completely caked full of dirt. So I took that out, vacuumed the inside here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually rinse those filters. They look like they're reusable filters. So if you don't do vacuum maintenance very often, it's going to get clogged with dirt and dust. And doing this every year or two just to make sure your vacuum stays running and functioning is really good maintenance for your vacuum to make sure it lasts a long time. So I think someone may have ran this without a bag, or possibly a bag burst or opened up in there, because it should not be dusty. If you're using HEPA bag, it should stay clean in there. Here's that filter I was talking about. There's a couple of them. This is the side filter for the exhaust, and this is a filter that goes on the bottom there. So I'm going to put these in the sink with a little bit of soap and water, get them clean. Now, it was just 4 screws that held this on right here. I took those out, just really long screws. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and then this popped out. This plastic insert goes there, and then your brush roller goes over like that, and then this snaps right over the top of everything. But I'm going to wipe this out. So what I like to do, I'm not going to use any harsh cleaning solvents or anything like that, because I don't want to leave any dirty residue, or the dirt is going to get trapped on it and get attracted to it. So I've got a little bit of vinegar mixed with some water here, diluted. I'm just going to spray it on, and I got my damp microfiber cloth here. We're just going to freshen up the vacuum. Now, if you have a clog inside of your intake here, I like to take my shop vac here, and I will actually turn it on and vacuum the intake here, as well as the opposite side on the back side here. So I took this little hose out, I cleaned that out, vacuumed it. I'm actually going to rinse this in the sink as well, let it dry for a day before I put it all back together. So I'm just going to basically just clean it up. You see how much dirt was already wiped off just by doing that one time. So it's going to make this vacuum smell like a brand new vacuum. So we're just going to go ahead and wipe all that out, and then we'll reassemble it, and we got to get some new bags. This vacuum takes a Hoover Type Y bag, which is a very common bag, so easy enough to find online. If you have a lot of hair wrapped around or anything, just use a razor blade, and you can actually just score it this way and just cut all the hairs and then just pull them out before you put your brush roller back together. These ends pop off as well if you'd like to clean underneath there. Just make sure that they spin freely. If they don't spin nicely, you can just pull these off and re-grease them and clean them out. But I don't think I'll need to do that, so the brush roller is very, very good, yet it's a little dirty. I'll just wipe it down, but the bristles are very stiff yet and in good shape. So I think you can get this as a replacement part as well, but I don't think we're going to have to do that. Yeah, those are dirty. Some dish soap on there. here's how to reassemble a Hoover vacuum. I got that plate in. That sits in that groove. Sorry for the bad lighting, and hopefully you can see that okay. This just stretches up. There's a square notch that you have to line up here. So pop that in first. Pop that end in. Belt should sit on this pulley straight, so just work that over into the middle. That's good. Now this covers up the belt here, just like that. Put your 4 screws in. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I like to do is just get the screws started all the way around on opposite corners, so that way everything sits nice and flush. Just give it like a couple of turns, and then go back in and finish the screws up. Don't over tighten it because you don't want to strip the plastic. Just like that. I like to just give it a quick little snug and press inward as you're screwing. There we go. And last one. That should be good. So the bottom is now back together, and this is super easy to take apart if you need to clean anything in here or if it gets clogged. Now, looking up here, here's our HEPA filter that I cleaned. That just sits in like this. Close that door. There's a filter on the bottom here. That's this white one. Just set that down. The filter grate goes over it like this. Like that. It's got a couple of notches on the side that it lines up onto. And it just kind of sits in there. It doesn't really snap in place. It's just kind of a pressure fit. Put your bag on. Bag door. And that's really all there is to it. We gotta get the hose hooked up yet. Which I left hanging over a chair to dry completely. It's got a couple of notches on here, so line that up. Give it a twist, route the hose around, and you're back in business. I need to get bags for this yet, but we're going to go ahead and turn this on and make sure it works. Guys, if you like this video, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Helps out the channel a lot. If you got any questions, comments, or anything like that, leave them below. Always glad to help. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to leave the bag door open, and I'm not going to engage the brushes on the carpet because I don't want to dirty this up until I get a bag in there. Look at that! Seems like everything's back in order. Alright, until next time guys, thanks for watching.